2cast.
Let the games begin.
In 3, 2.
Welcome to the Portal 2cast, the only show designed to make you a better mapper. Today is Friday Request, so today we're going to look at two puzzles that mappers have submitted to me for review. I'm going to look at them in all my biased opinions and tell people what I think. The first is Twin Lasers by Lador. Well, here's my first annoyance with this map, because I find this excursion funnel pulling me through two doors to be gimmicky. It's also more annoying because it hits my head on the top of the doorways, so you have to duck down. And it just feels gimmicky, like you're going to impress me with your ability to put in elements we don't see in normal maps. So when we get in here, and I'm not going to pull any punches because this is how I really feel, this is exactly the kind of map that I don't like, and I'll tell you why. There is so much going on. The first thing I notice when I walk in this giant chamber is that there is no lighting to speak of anywhere. We have our mandatory observation window. There's no other lighting in the room other than that provided by ant lines and glowy things like these lasers. Let me give you a quick tour of some of the features of this map. Back there you see another excursion funnel. There's a hallway to the left. There's a room back there. And you wonder, wait, am I supposed to try and go that way? No idea. Over here you have these 3 laser relays that seem part of the ultimate solution, because if you follow these ant lines back, they do eventually connect to the exit. Although, as you can tell, it's a bit easy to get lost because these ant lines start crossing with other things. And you have this other room over here which has all of these water dispensers, cleansing gel if you will, and 2 buttons to the left and right. It seems like you've actually made it hard to tell what's going on. I eventually figured out that this button summons blue gel, and for whatever reason I have to stop the cleansing gel in another room that's up there that I can tell by the ant line. So there's so much going on, it's hard to know really what to mess with first. So this other button apparently stops that cleansing gel, but we still need to get up to that room to stop the other cleansing gel. So here are the titular twin lasers, and we have a cube, and there are so many things we can do with this cube right off the bat that it's hard to know what the real puzzle is. You can see that if I laser that relay, it will activate one of 4 connections I need to open the exit. That's another of them, and that's a third. I guess the 4th is behind me. So the 4th is that guy there. So somehow I have to use these 2 lasers, or others that might be elsewhere in the map, to activate all 4 of those connections for the exit. So I do know what the ultimate goal is. What drives me nuts about this sort of map is I have no idea what the intermediate goals are at all. And I'll show you what I mean. The other thing I can do with the cube is activate this conversion gel, and then I begin the very frustrating process of trying to conversion gel everything that I can. Now keep in mind that as I do this, I have no idea if any of this is worthwhile. I just want to make the puzzle as versatile as possible so that I don't miss anything. I'm assuming that these 2 lasers are involved in the final solution, so I want to be able to portal underneath both of them. On my first playthrough, it looked like this excursion funnel was designed to prevent the conversion gel from going along this line here, but as you can see, it's possible to circumvent that. The point is not that I need all of this conversion gel. The point is that I don't exactly know what I need. So I want to be able to portal these lasers, and I want to be able to portal them from any direction. Because if the solution involves me portaling them, I want to be able to readjust so that the laser is against the floor or higher up, etc. One thing I don't know if you know is that all this conversion gel makes it now possible to portal bump between these 2 rooms with the Fizzler. This further complicates things because now I can conversion gel the other room. Have no idea what those red particles are for. If this was done in Hammer, the rules of the puzzle might be different. For all I know, that's a puzzle element that I have to understand to solve this puzzle, but there it is, and I don't know what it does. Is it just for decoration? Is it a leftover phenomenon from something I don't understand? Is it just the back of this excursion funnel, and the reason that the puzzle maker requires you to close off the back of that wall is so that players don't see things like that and wonder what they are? If I had to guess at the reason for the conversion gel, I would guess the purpose is to get beyond this crate right here. And because I don't know what else awaits me, I'm going to go ahead and take my cube through. And there's a portal wall back here, which indeed seems useless now that I've conversion part of this tunnel. Another funnel, more cleansing gel in 2 places, and a pedestal button. And there's a sphere button to turn off the excursion funnel, but I have not seen any indication of a sphere anywhere. This is a classic example of a puzzle that I will never solve. There's just too much going on. I have no idea if I'm on the right track with the conversion gel, or if I've misused it somehow, if continuing to paint with speed gel will only ruin my chances of solving something with a conversion gel. Am I meant to go look for that sphere before I do anything else? Am I meant to start using this cube button to do other things? Should I play around with this room first? It's really hard to know what to do. Should I use my knowledge of portal bumping to get the reflection cube on the wrong side of the fizzler and then blue gel that patch right there? It seems like that might be part of the final solution, but since it's something I can do now, I have no idea whether it's something I should pursue or not. This puzzle is just too intricate for my taste. I don't feel like I've been given the proper clues to sort of approach things one at a time. And I don't feel like I'm solving anything either. It feels like I'm trying to explore enough to discover the hidden elements I need to proceed. Next, we're going to look at Portalarity Part 1, Cube Movement by, I hope this is TangerTube, because the name listed as the publisher of the puzzle is too foul for me to say on a show that my friends and family watch. So obviously this is a hammer map because you start with no portal gun. There's one on the ledge there, and there's another one through the glass here. My regular viewers know that I'm a bit biased against hammer maps, and I will try to explain why. I feel that hammer mappers are so impressed with their ability to map in Hammer that they don't bother learning the techniques that make such good puzzles purely in the Puzzle Maker. They don't bother learning the simplicity and the step-by-step methodology that players have to go through. They don't bother learning the learning process that players must go through. And when Valve introduced new elements, chamber by chamber, there were so many things to introduce you to them. The chamber started with really stupidly simple puzzles. Most of the Hammer puzzles that I played come in one of 2 flavors. Either they're puzzles that, if they were done in the Puzzle Maker, they would be stupidly simple and no challenge at all, but they get a lot of votes because they were done in Hammer and they're very pretty. Or they're puzzles with new elements, and the player really has no idea what's going on because, unlike Valve, the Hammer designer didn't include voice acting and plot and a stupidly simple introduction chamber just to show you everything that's going on. Perhaps this is what this is meant to be. I'm going to grab the first portal gun, which only lets you portal orange in this map. I can't portal blue. Both the half circles surrounding my crosshair are orange. So there's not much you can do. I'll give the author credit for trying to introduce the mechanic, although, to quote someone who gave feedback for this puzzle, it took ages to discover what it was. That's because compared to Valve puzzles, which introduce you to a stupidly simple chamber and give you voice acting and give you story, this puzzle sort of assumes you understand the mechanic as soon as you're introduced to it. So the mechanic is this: if you orange portal that portal right there, you notice I only have one portal out, but it reversed the excursion funnel, if I can even call that an excursion funnel. And here's the really frustrating thing about this puzzle: that event right there triggered this door opening. So right there I know the rules in this universe are different. I don't know if that's a button. I don't know if there was an invisible trigger along the path there. Maybe it was that ray there of red particles that's the trigger, but it's nothing I've been introduced to before. Maybe I'm being introduced to it now, but it's frustrating. So if I pass through here, now I have the blue and orange portal gun, and what this does is when you portal the end of that excursion funnel, it will reverse it if it's orange, and it will make it a forward pushing excursion funnel if it's blue. So what you have to do for this kind of thing is a lot of reversing of your 2 portals. Like I have to put orange nowhere now just so that I can reuse my blue. So you find yourself making extra portals just to get rid of the polarity of your beam. If you're used to doing things a certain way with your hands and your fingers, all of a sudden it won't work. So that red particle field, I've only been introduced to it in Carl's mod, and in that mod it's a paint fizzler, but in this puzzle it seems to be some sort of trigger, because now all of a sudden all of my portal walls have fallen off and the construction of the room is different. And this took me a long time right there. If you look, I guess the ant lines are supposed to be a clue, but it took me a long time to realize that that is actually portalable, because as you can tell, there's virtually no light in this chamber. It's very dark. Now, this is the solution to that part of the puzzle, and after this, I'm completely stuck. I have no idea what to do. Let me show my viewers why. When this puzzle gets to that button, which, by the way, you can't see unless you lean over this, so it was kind of a guess where to put that cube until I just happened to walk out to this ledge. All that this did, so far as I can tell, was turn on this pneumatic diversity vent. I'm not sure if I can show you without resetting the puzzle, but let's step back and watch again and see what happens. There's no little air blowing up into the vent, so I can tell that whatever that did is no longer active, and I need to get my cube again. Now let's stand back and watch. The cube is on the way to the button, so let's see what happens. Boom, the air is on in this vent. I have no idea what to do with that. There's nothing portable here. If I snatch the cube, it turns off. So whatever I just solved is undone. I have no idea what to do with this diversity vent, if anything. It wasn't something that unlocked an entire part of the chamber like earlier when the entire chamber changed shape. I'm just confused, and maybe I just suck at Portal, and if that's the case, then I'm terrible at Portal. I'll give this map credit for one thing. It's a clever mechanic. I felt it's introduced too quickly, and I don't think that's just my opinion, because reading on the feedback page, it says it took this other user ages to figure out what was going on, even though it's introduced before you get to it, because when you get into hammer maps like this, it's just that the rules are different. And Valve took very careful efforts to train the player step by step on the rules of the game. And that's why the puzzle maker has limited elements and limited possibilities. Despite the fact that these two were not my favorite maps, nevertheless, I thank you for mapping. I hope that my feedback inspires you to go make one change, even if it's something minor, that might make your puzzle appeal to a slightly broader audience. Or it's entirely possible that other people wanting to disprove my thesis that these are too complex or obscure will go ahead and play your puzzles and they'll love them, and personally I think that's great. So thank you nonetheless for mapping and giving me the opportunity to play your puzzles even though I suck at them. Thanks to everybody for watching the show. Have a great weekend.